Tondo, responding to assignment 10. To respond to the first part of the question, choosing a poem and analyzing the effect that its lineation has on its social message, I chose Coal by Audre Lorde. For one, because I think it has great use of lineation, and two, because I find the social message particularly powerful. Taken from the essay, well, first of all, the poem uses very little punctuation at the ends of lines. Not necessarily strongly enjambed in all cases, because you're not waiting for the next line to get the full meaning. A lot of the lines, even without end punctuation, are complete in what they're saying. But to reference back to the essay, I would say that more than creating a sense of surprise by forcing the reader to question what the line is saying before reading the next, it still creates a sense of anxiety that I think contributes to the overall message of the poem. Specifically in the second stanza, nearly every line except for the one closer to the middle in a perforated book, buy and sign and tear apart, which doesn't have a comma or a period or some of the more traditional punctuation you find in a poem. It instead has the dash, which creates, to me at least, a harder stop. And well, I guess the way I interpreted the poem, or the social message that I understood, was sort of the plight of the working man, in this case specifically a coal miner, just judging from the title of the poem and from some of the repeated images like diamonds and like black, the color. But that stanza in particular, to me, breeds a lot of anxiety just because of how quickly you're forced to travel from line to line. And even though, like I said, the lines often have a complete message, like the first line, some words are open like a diamond, that is a complete message, but something is revealed to you about that message upon the second line, on glass windows. And then again, that message feels complete until you reach the third line, which extends even further. And that kind of like that building, I think, builds an anxiety without necessarily begging the question that the poem in the essay we read does, if that makes sense. On to the second part of the question, analyzing the sound in They Feed They Lion. That poem actually felt kind of similar to me to Cole, just in kind of the sort of the plight that it's analyzing. And I thought that mostly it was using cacophony, since the poem is so oriented around a conflict in the subject of the poem. I thought that there were a lot of conflicting sounds and a lot of difficult words in structure and sound that are clumped very close together and read in fast succession, especially with the lineation that he uses. I found it to be really, really impactful. There are also moments of euphony. Specifically, I would say the very first stanza with the repeated use of out and an ow sound. But overall, I think that serves as sort of a contrast to most of the cacophony throughout the poem, which I thought really serves to, in a way, paint a picture of the city he's speaking of Detroit, just in that there are these large structures of words jammed so close to one another, which to me reminds me of like the industrial buildup and sprawl of a city like Detroit or of a similar city, and that's also directly connected to the people and the problems that he's speaking to in the poem. That basically concludes my thoughts on that. Thanks very much.